If you want to become a travel influencer, you are in luck because in today's video, we are going to talk about step-by-step strategies that you can implement to launch this side of your business. Now, notice I call it a business because being a travel influencer is a full-on business nowadays. I have a ton of experience on the brand side, on the tourism board side, on the hotel side, paying influencers, creators, UGC creators for content or sponsored giveaways and all in between. And I feel like I'm going to be able to share with you not only the brand perspective, but the perspective of the creator community I have created throughout the last 10 years. When I think of the word influencer, to me, it's truly just someone who has influence, someone who drives clicks, conversions, views. Influence is more like the magazine, right? When we're thinking about circulation and eyeballs versus content creator who's creating content and not so focused on their following. So many people are doing both. There's creators that start off as creators, become influencers. There's some people that never want to go the influencer route, but still want to travel and work with brands. And then there's people who really just want to grow their communities and build audiences. Whichever route you choose, there's going to be business for you in those choices. And I think today's video is going to help you understand the steps to take to treat this as a business to build out your travel influencer journey and career. One major thing that everyone listening in needs to know is that being a travel influencer isn't about exploring the world. It's about building a business that can move with you, because businesses don't turn off while you're traveling. You guys are in such a unique space. Some of the travel creators I work with are constantly on the move, jet setting from destination to destination. So that means you guys need to set up your businesses to move with you, to flow with you, not something that you do once you get back to your hometown. Now, like I mentioned, today's video, we're going to dive deep into strategies step by step to help you in your travel influencer journey. But I do just want to say that being a travel influencer is a decision. That's the first piece of it, is making a decision to commit to yourself, to invest in yourself, and to treating this like the business that it really is. Because I'll tell you, as someone who has paid travel influencers $10,000 plus partnerships, I don't want to work with a hobbyist. I want to work with another business. And I think it's so important for the creators listening in to treat this as the business that it is. Yes, we're going to talk about strategy, but we're also going to talk about the investments that you need to make sure that this is a sustainable business for you and that you're able to do it all around the world. Now, whether you're editing reels in Mexico, sending brand pitches from Bali, or engaging with your community in Italy, one thing that is going to be certain is that as a travel creator, you cannot afford to not be online. Being offline is just not an option for you guys. Like, you have to stay connected. And I think about all the travel creators in my industry, especially those that are hitting those 7-figure years and are truly successful in this industry. They're not offline just because they're in a place that has spotty reception or dodgy Wi-Fi. And that's why I'm so excited to start today's video off by sharing with you a little bit about today's sponsor, GigSky. GigSky is our eSIM company of choice that keeps creators connected in over 120 countries. Now, if you've never used an eSIM before, basically it is the most simplest thing ever. And it actually blew my mind when I got to using it for my own business. It's basically a digital SIM card that lives in your phone. So you're not like swapping out SIM cards with every destination that you're visiting. You literally just download the plan from the app directly, type in the destination that you're going to be at, and voila, you are able to connect. So what you see on the screen right here is a trip that I did to Mexico and a trip that I did to Canada. I was in Mexico for 7 days. I was in Canada also for 7 days. It was $12 a day using my traditional roaming. Now, I'm no mathematician, so let's go ahead and pull up the calculator. So let's do $12 a day, and let's do it for the 14 days total. I spent $168 in roaming. That's what I literally had on my statement because I did not have an eSIM in my business. Now, let's go ahead and look at GigSky's plan. If I was to have bought the 3-month package for 25 gigabytes, I would have literally paid like a third for 3 months, and I paid $100 and something for literally 14 days. So from a math perspective, from an efficiencies perspective, from a business owner perspective, not only did I lose money, I wasn't thinking efficiently in my business. So that's when you're thinking as a business owner, like ways to stay, on top of your expenses and think smarter. Roaming and those charges associated is a big cost saving when you have an eSIM like GigSky. Literally, if you travel just like 1 weekend a month, you make your money back. So that's how you need to think about it. I absolutely love this map when you just think about like roaming prices versus GigSky. Like if you just compare what you're paying for GigSky versus roaming, like you heard about my story specifically, I spent so much in just 14 days of travel. But if you look at this, like, you know, you're seeing roaming charges can be $84, but with GigSky, you're paying $26. Or maybe you're roaming in South Africa and you're paying what I paid, $168, but GigSky, you would have paid $45. So again, no matter where you are in the world, no matter where you're traveling, you are saving money. And that to me is very important as a business owner. Also, like you cannot be depending on spotty Wi-Fi. You cannot depend on like going back to the hotel and like making sure Wi-Fi works. Like who knows where you're going to be. As a travel influencer, your job is to be connected to your community, to the brands that are coming through the doors, to being able to have access to your email, because not having access is again a missed opportunity, especially with brands that have tight turnarounds, timelines, or reaching out to you. Being connected is the priority. And we have a special code for you guys for 50% off at the bottom. So being connected, number one, most important for any travel influencer looking to do this as a true business. The second thing when it comes to being a travel influencer is understanding this theory of travel and. So what I mean by that, when we talk about niching down, a lot of us think of travel and we think of this big industry, but we don't see that there's so many travel niches. And that's where the theory travel and comes up. So let me share with you what I mean. So I'm heading over to Instagram and I'm typing the words travel and, right? Now, when I put in the words travel and in Instagram, let's take a look at all of these different types of travel accounts, right? Travel and lifestyle. We have Florida and travel. We had food and travel, NYC and travel, solo travel, girls trip, content creation. So why I'm trying to share this idea of and is that being a travel creator, you can no longer just be travel. Like you have to understand that as a creator, again, as a business, you are serving a subset of the world. You're not going to make every single person happy, and you're really trying to create for a specific type of person, at least in the beginning, to get really, really clear on the type of content you're making, as well as the type of audience you're attracting, the brand deals you want to land. The niche is so important. Think of it as like the pollen, and you know, it attracts the bees. The bees are the brands, the bees are the followers that you want. Having a very clear scent is what is going to attract your ideal human into your world, and kind of being all over the place is something that is just going to hurt you. Now, I know a lot of us want to talk about a lot of things, but there is a way to do this within your niche. So I'll give you an example. If you're a travel creator and you want to talk about budget travel destinations, but you also want to talk about, I don't know, something else, food or things that you love to purchase or things that you're just really interested in, you can always tie it back to that anchored piece of content of budget travel. You can find ways to be like, hey, these are some recipes that I tried when I was backpacking through Eastern Europe, and I wanted to share them with you as, you know, during my budget traveling days, these were some of my favorite recipes I tried as I was traveling. You see what I'm saying? Like there's ways to bring it back. So remember, your goal in being a travel influencer and setting up your business is to really figure out your niche. And if you have a hard time with that, try thinking about the people that you want to help or affect, and think about the action words surrounding these people. Are you trying to help them? Are you trying to inspire them? Are you trying to motivate them? Understanding that action word. So like I, action word, the type of person. So I help families, you know, travel with kids. And again, you can get really clear, like kids under 5, because again, kids could be like a 10-year-old is very different than traveling with 2-year-olds. So don't be afraid to make that decision, that commitment in the beginning of your travel influencer journey, to be really, really clear, because it's going to help you know what type of content to make. It's going to let you know the type of brands you're going to reach out to. Having the niche is like the guiding star. It's the northern light. Okay. And that is going to help you along the way. Now, one thing I think is very different than advice I would have given years ago about starting your travel influencer journey is choosing a platform that is joyful. So what do I mean by that? I think back in the day, people used to be like, well, I have to be a blogger, or I have to be an Instagrammer, or I have to do YouTube. You don't have to do anything. Truly, this is a decision that you're making. The reason you are doing this business is because you want it to be a joyful experience for you. So I am so done and so tired of people doing things because they feel like they have to, especially in entrepreneurship. You get to choose the platforms that you love. So when I say choose a platform that's joyful, choose a platform that you feel like you can do. Like for me personally, I love long form. I love long form videos. I like podcasting. It comes really natural to me. Having to put all this information in a 30-second video, that's not my style. Or someone else may be like, I could never do a 17-minute video. I rather die. I rather keep it quick and easy, full of different little clips. That works too. If you hate writing, don't start a blog, right? Not because everyone else is telling you to do it. Choose the platform in the medium of creativity that is joyful, because when you enjoy the content that you are making, you are not going to struggle in this space. You will struggle in other areas, but at least the content that you're making will be a joyful experience. It is also so much easier to stay consistent when you enjoy the platform that you're on. Like if you love writing and you start a Substack and you're building your travel influence in the Substack world, you will continue it and be consistent in it because you love to write. And again, we see creators burn out when they do the content that they don't love to do. So pick a platform that feels good. And again, if you don't know what that is, test them. Like so many people are like, oh, like I'm scared of YouTube, but then they get into it and they learn and they're like, oh, actually, I love it. You won't know it's joyful until you've tried them all. I've tried them all. So I know that, there's spaces that I like better than others. So definitely put yourself out there and try different platforms to help you figure out which one makes the most sense for you. Now let's talk about equipment. Nowadays, when I am, again, coming from the brand side and seeing contracts that are being sent to creators, and I'm working with creators and seeing the contracts brands send, 90% of so many sponsorships are being created on a phone. The amount of partnerships I'm seeing that are being done on the phone is crazy, truly, especially if you chose short form video as your platform of choice. So if you're like, I want to do TikTok and I want to do Instagram, from a production standpoint, y'all, these phones are so high tech and have great cameras that we're seeing creators see a lot of success just shooting off the phone. They always say the best equipment is the equipment you have. Don't let that be a barrier to getting started. Now, when it comes to content in general, the rule of thumb is audio is always a huge one. You can have the best visuals in the world, but if you have bad audio, that's going to hurt the video. So if you're going to invest in something, make sure, again, you invest in maybe like a microphone. And if you wanted something a little higher up, right here on the screen, this is the DJI Osmo, the Pocket Osmo. We have it. I love it. You can shoot vertical, you can shoot horizontal. Comes with a mic as well for the creator pack. So it's really great for vlogging, travel content. It's small, so it's like not awkward when you're shooting in public. So again, you don't need to get really crazy and have all the drones and the DSLRs and all the cameras, especially when you're just starting. I think keeping it simple in the beginning is the most important move. Again, when it comes to equipment, having your eSIM set up, like to me, that's like a tool that is a necessity in the toolkit for travel influencers. Again, because when you are traveling, being able to stay connected with your community, staying connected to brands, and just being connected, like truly being connected and not having to like hope you find Wi-Fi somewhere. If you're on that path, it's not a business for you. And anyone here that is part of our community, you guys are trying to really make this into something, so we got to treat it as a business it deserves to be. And what makes GigSky so special is that because they're a mobile virtual network operator, it sets them apart from the other eSIMs who are most of the times eSIM resellers. And this differentiation basically allows GigSky to give amazing customer support, a way more secure environment. Their eSIMs are all USA provisioned, and superior performance and reliability, which as a travel influencer is a non-negotiable. Need it in your toolkit. You got to make sure that that's settled. All right, we've talked about niching down. We've talked about choosing a platform that actually promotes joy. We've talked about the tools you need in your toolkit. Something that I think is also very important in the travel influencer journey is understanding your monetization strategy from the front. Because as you are planning your business, you're not just trying to wing it and be like, what's going to happen? Like, you need to have your eyes on the prize. Are you going to be monetizing through brand deals? Are you going to be selling your content, doing UGC for brands? Are you going to be selling itineraries? Are you going to get into affiliate marketing? The reason I'm putting this in your guys' head is because as a travel influencer, specifically having these monetization ideas is so important. So you're not entering this new industry just kind of being like, what's going to happen? What am I going to do? When you have clarity on how you want to monetize, this also helps you create more strategically. So you're not just creating like random videos, like the content that you're making is also working itself towards helping you with your monetization. So like, for example, if you know that you're going to create a guide to New York children's things to do, like our friend Olga did here with the mini jet setter, she created this amazing ebook, like this itinerary. It's a virtual PDF that shares all the different ways and things to do in New York with kids. This is going to help her with her content because her content is going to probably set it up to also help promote this ebook. So knowing your monetization is so important as you decide to start building out your travel influencer strategy. One thing in the travel influencer world specifically, especially for those that are just getting started, is don't be afraid to start local. Like a lot of us do glamorize traveling internationally, and a lot of creators get into this because they want to travel internationally, but don't let that stop you from starting local, because when you do pitch international destinations, having that local experience is always going to be a leg up. You can build case studies around your work, you're able to get testimonials, and local businesses need help too. So if you're just getting started into the swing of things, do not forget the importance of local. Think local tourism boards, think the local chamber of commerce. Like so many people, for example, want to work with Visit Florida or Visit California at the state level. What about all the different tourism boards within the state of smaller cities that also have budget, that are also looking for creators? So don't just set your sights on like that big destination. Look for unknown destinations. So that's a little bit different than local. So I wanted to speak to local, but I also wanted to share, if you're a travel influencer and you're pitching and you're trying to create content, a creator in our community told us that she did like a huge campaign with, I think it was like Visit Idaho, and they paid really, really well. And it was a destination that maybe we don't really think of when we think of American tourism, but she was able to tap in, sell them a story, get them excited. And she did this very early on in her career. So again, something for you guys as creators to consider: local angle, and also destinations that are not as shiny and flashy. And this goes for international as well. If you're pitching a country abroad, it doesn't have to be at the country level. It can be at the local level abroad. And one thing I think a lot of travel creators have asked me in the past is, can I use my old content? Can I use what I already have? Absolutely. Again, it's going to depend on the platform that you're on. If you're going to be on YouTube, you're going to want to make sure that past content is shot horizontally. But if you're doing the short form route and you have, footage already, you can use old footage. Creators have a mindset block around this. They're like, I feel like I can't because it's not new, it's not fresh. It's all about, creating voiceovers and leveraging the content that you already have that exists. Now, if you're looking to amplify your efforts as a travel creator, don't forget tools like repurpose.io and tools that are going to help you take that one short form video and put it on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. Being able to repurpose, again, helps you work smarter, not harder. And just remember, creators, being connected is a necessity. Travelers like you need to rely on these mobile networks for navigation, being able to communicate, apps, Uber, all of that. So having an eSIM like GigSky is going to enable you to be like instantly hassle-free access to local networks. Even from a safety perspective, how important this type of access is. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I think we have a strong understanding here that being a travel influencer is way more than posting pretty photos around the world. It's about building a business. And I think we were able to go through different strategies and ways to get you guys started. Treat it like a business, invest in the right tools, make good financial decisions around your travel creator world. You don't have to buy the most expensive camera and things of that nature when you're just getting started. But remember, it's so important to create with intention, with clarity. This is going to help you overall in your career. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm going to go ahead and include that GigSky 50% off link again in the description so you guys can access it. And I will see you guys in the next video.